Hello, and welcome back to the Hermitcraft server with me, Zedaph. Hope you are doing very well today. We are over here, back again at the iceberg base, which is where we ended last episode. If you didn't catch it, we fixed up our portals. We did some crazy cool portal math. It was pretty awesome. He's got eye boogers. We even made a little helpful, semi-useless, maybe incorrect tool for people to use to calculate portal distances using maths and science and things. It was a lot of fun, but then we came over here and started working on this, our cryogenic bed chamber, where we want to be able to sleep in a lovely, icy, freezing cold, frozen state. Because, you know, if you need a good night's rest, clearly everyone knows that you got to freeze yourself so that you basically are kind of dead and can just relax a little bit, right? Right? So we did some experiments with beds where you can actually fall out of them if there's a block above the pillow like this, and we worked out that this setup works. It plops us in the water and we end up looking at that way, so we can design some kind of cryogenic from the inside view over here. But the issue was, when we were waking up, it was plopping us in this spot, which we don't want. So we needed to figure out a way of having us appear in here overnight whilst we're in the bed, but then when we wake up, or just before we wake up, popping us out here outside of the bed. That was going to be the main issue. So we needed to do a few things. I thought we needed to pull the water away. Then we needed... Let me get some ice blocks. We needed to pull the water away. Then we needed to replace where the water was with a solid block, and then repeat it and do all kind of loops and craziness. So we needed a machine to be like, hey, water, go away. Then we needed a block to go there, which means we couldn't wake up there, and we would be forced to wake up at the end of the bed. So in typical Zedaph fashion, we are going to head over, boom, to the cryo lab test area. Here we go. Excellent. Wonderful. We made it successfully. Let's go into creative mode, because we have the magical powers here in this big old empty void land place. So I started working on this system here. I needed a way to get rid of the water, block it with a block, and then later on when we woke up again, retract the block, and then re-put the water down, right? So it's get rid of water, put in block, get rid of block, put back water. Very, very simple, and I made this little doodad. We also worked out that observers are very, very creepy and weird, and they watch you whilst you sleep, and they actually put out a tick when you get into bed, and they put out a tick when you get out of bed as well. So I've just replicated that with a lever here, and I made this little doodad. So let's watch it. The water's going to go, and the block's going to go in place. So it slurped it up, put the block in, and then just it stays like this. And then when we get out of bed again, it just does the opposite. It retracts the block and then puts the water back. I then moved on to this design, which is pretty similar, except instead of both of those actions happening once and then reversing on the next tick, you'll see the piston actually just stays out for a little bit of time. There's a little pulse extender there, so let's just watch it. Sucks the water up and puts the piston in place, blocking the area, and then after a while, automatically the piston goes back, but the water only comes back once we get out of bed, and then the whole system's reset. So I built a little thing here as well. Then I built this, which makes a piston go up in the air. Isn't that fun? What a fun little contraption. Anyway, no, this actually gave me the idea that instead of using the block to block where we're going to be spawning, so we appear at the end of the bed, I actually wanted this to retract away, meaning that there was no floor to stand on. Thus, again, we would go to the end of the bed, because you need a block at around the edges of the bed to spawn to. So if I grab a bed real quick, like that, at the minute when I was getting out of bed, when this block was here, I'd be stood on it. So when it's out like that, this is acceptable. So I'd go here, I'd go through the night, it would retract, and then boom, I'd wake up in the morning, because now there's no block there. I can't wake up here. There's a big hole in the ground. So instead, I would wake up there. So because of the whole retracting block thing, that meant we didn't have to get rid of the water anymore. The water could just stay there, because now the water would be kind of like up here. I'm not going to put some water there. I've made that mistake one too many times in my life. I'm going to put some lapis there instead. That is where the water source block can sit. So as you can see, when we're in bed like that, we actually now have some floor to stand on, but then we don't again, thus we appear back at the bottom of the bed. I hope that makes sense. So with that idea, I made this little contraption, you can see, and instead of water, I figured cobwebs. Cobwebs are, of course, the comfiest thing to sleep in, and they're kind of white, and they look a little bit kind of like ice or something as well. You can't really see them when you're laying in bed. So now I just made this new timer. I had to work out how long it would take for that I would want this block up whilst we're in our cryo chamber. So if we sleep real quick, I'll mimic it here with a thing. That goes up, we're in the cobweb, we're in the cobweb, we're in the cobweb. Boom, we wake up at the end of the bed because there's no floor to stand on anymore. So that was cool. I then just tried to compact this timer down. This was just for testing purposes, working out how long it would be. And I started turning it into an etho hopper clock, which is down under here. So this should be exactly the same. I worked out it's 6 items going back and forth, roughly make this block go up to here, being our floor quite a long time. So yeah, that all works, and then we still appear at the bottom of the bed when we wake up. We're looking at the lovely lever. That was just a example thing to look at. So this worked. This was great. Let's give this a quick go. If I just turn the time set to night, it's nighttime, lovely in the evening. Let me land. We go like that. We're in our little cobwebby place. Everything's great. The block below us is going to disappear. And we wake up at the bottom of the bed, right? And everything's good. Okay, it does trigger again, because obviously when we leave the bed, the whole thing triggers. But it doesn't matter. We're eating our cereal or something like that. We're on our merry way. But then, building this, I found that we can literally destroy the entirety of this. Nothing matters at all. Nothing matters in this world. All we need is a cobweb there. The cobweb is good enough for the game to plop us there at nighttime. So let's try this again now. We stand here, we get in bed, we're looking in our cryogenic chamber area that we'll need to design, and then boom, we wake up at the bottom of the bed. Very weird, very simple. I'm kind of annoyed, so we don't even need to watch for when we're asleep anymore. We don't need a single piece of redstone at all. All we need is a cobweb. Cobweb saved the day. But anyway, let's return back to the Hermitcraft server with a transition that is equally as cool as the one we used to arrive here. Huh. Okay, well, it seems like 1 seems to be our limit per episode. We can do no more transitions that are decent than that. But we're back here successfully on the Hermitcraft server, back in the Glacier base. So at least that's something. At least it worked. And here I've got a chest of things that I've not touched for a very, very long time. So by now there should be plenty of cobwebs and things like that all built up in here. It needs a good clean out, a good dusting. So let's have a look. Yeah, plenty of really old stuff, things that we've never touched in here. My flesh has rotted. Oh, that's a shit. I'll have to really clear that out. Okay, well, definitely got some spider webs built up in here. So that's good. Let's go up a level. I think this is where we're going to build the bed. I was imagining just over here. This is north. Okay, yeah, good, this is north. Right, fantastic. The beauty with picking this side of the iceberg is that we actually can make the room slightly bigger if we need to. I was imagining having the bed kind of like here. So we'll have to break a hole in a little bit. 1 block up further than that. But we're going to need to build some stuff around it. Obviously, we need the whole cobweb up in the head bit there, all the blocking blocks and everything. I'm going to want to make this light blue as well. That's a much better cold colour of a bed. For a cryogenic chamber, after all, we got to make it all look realistic. But then I equally want to try and add a bit of showmanship to when we're sleeping, because at the minute we're just going to be staring at a block of ice, which is no fun. We might as well just be staring at the rest of our body in bed like normal. There would be no point in falling out of bed. So I think we might try and do a little trick that we've had on the server for quite some time and I've never really played with. So onwards to the shopping district. Oh boy, this place is so full. I'm looking for a sandstone building. Here it is, found it. It's crash land. There we go. Oh look, and it's exactly what we want. This is the place. This is the place. Oh, he looks like he's dropped his sandwich on the floor or something. He looks really upset. I'm sorry about that, mate. Okay, in we go. Ooh, look at this. This looks kind of scary. I'm not sure if I want to even touch this. I'm assuming I just walk on there. That's kind of my impulse. But then I also press big red buttons when I see them in a room as well. So oh yeah, statues version 2.3. Can I get another one? No. No. What happens if I do the drop trick? Oh, I feel kind of bad now. Right, let's go back to somewhere where it's not going to be nighttime and have a little play. But first, before we go back home, one of these boxes have some diamonds in. Can you guess which? It is The shorts box of all of them. Who would have thought? These two, no sales. The shorts have been selling like crazy. Perfect! Let's give this book a test. I have never touched this before. I have never seen it myself. Let's make some armor stands. But this book should allow us to pose, manipulate, and do some cool things with these armor stands. So let's put a couple down and let's see what we can do. So, right, we're going to right-click. That wasn't working. Okay. Oh boy, lots of reading time. This book allows you to apply basic settings to an armor stand. Clicking the coloured links will adjust the closest armor stand within 3 blocks. Check target. Haha! You're my target. Okay, good. You're the closest one. We can do show the base plate. Look at this. Style set, we can do show arms. Fantastic. Pose presets. Facepalm. Oh, it's like the one that dropped his sandwich. Utilities. Oh, we can copy him. This book is unbelievable. Thank you all these people for making this possible. This pose is called Death. And I can see why. So my hope is that if we pose this in the right way and we can add ice blocks and things like that to its hand, we can then also make the whole thing invisible as well. So let's give that a try. Style settings, stand visible? No. It's gone. Okay, cool. So we can just make floating blocks. Then we can affect the armor stand with water or pistons or something to move this block around. Which should mean we'll get like a little show going on of what we're looking at when we're being frozen. All the ice blocks can encroach in on us or something like that. But first, let's actually see where our view is going to be. So this is the bed setup I've got. Luckily, glass cannot be woken up upon, or I don't know why, it's too cold or something like that. That's the last thing you want to do when you step out of bed is stand on some freezing cold glass. So weirdly, some freezing cold ice. Some solid ice works just as well. We need a solid block to jump out of bed on, and of course we need a solid can I speak, please? Solid block blocking our face, our head pillow, so that we fall out of bed. So I think if we put the spider web just there, that's what we should go into. I wonder if it's nighttime. Really hard to tell down here. Apparently not. Okay, let's wait for nighttime and see what happens. Okay, well, it's very nearly nighttime. I've got my gym jams on already. Let's quickly just try and dye the bed. I'm hoping we can dye it like this. Yes, we can, light blue, even icier. Beautiful, perfect. And hopefully, yeah, when we pop in this bed, we will sleep. We will be looking at that block above there. Let's just hope it works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be really sad, and this whole episode will have been for nothing, which will be fun, won't it? So, let's jump in. We did it! We fell out of bed, and we're looking at that block. Okay, so I picked the wrong block. We actually need to go up a block. We wake up. We woke up there. Beautiful. Perfect. I hollowed out the block behind the spider web there. We actually want to be focusing on the block above. That's going to be like our main showcase block. That is the theatre. That is the stage where our cool ice shenanigan stuff is going to happen. Where I need to make this guy be reappeared. How do I do it again? Nudge, pose, no, style settings, stand visible. Boop! There he is. Excellent. So I can put his other hand up, put something else in his other hand. We need to work a way to make these, like, rotate or something cool. You know, this little bit of land over here, this flat bit, has been such a good test ground. I use it so often to begin and end episodes that we do over here at the Iceberg Base and just do general testing. It's a very nice little place. I'm very glad it's here. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so we have our little armor stand guy. He's currently holding out an ice block to just indicate his direction, so pretend he's invisible. We want to work out how to be able to, like, spin him around. If we could rotate this, we could have rotating ice blocks, which would look really, really cool, I think, anyway, at least. It might not. It might be terrible. Who knows? Most of my ideas are. So we need to work out how we can rotate this guy. I don't think pistons are going to do it, are they? I think pistons just kind of push. Yeah, pistons just push. Okay, fine. What about water? Would the water source rotate him around? I should have a bucket on me. Excellent. Let's go like that. Okay, well, it's not rotating him. No, that also is just pushing him around. Still interesting, though. Still cool that we can move the ice block around in his hand, but having it spin, because we're only really looking at a 1x1x1 block area as our stage, so we really want to kind of keep this quite minimal and small. It would be great if we could just get him to rotate on the spot. So, what about... Oh, I have some more ideas. Boats. I thought maybe a boat might work. If we can even get him in a boat. Can you even get an armor stand guy in a boat? That's the real question. I don't think you can. I don't think this... Whoa, that ice! I forgot. Boats on ice. Ice boats. Pretty crazy. This is incredibly difficult. Yeah, he doesn't want to go in. He does not want to go in. What if we push with a piston? Just give him a little love push. There you go. Get in there. Get in that boat. He won't go in. Okay, no, he won't go in the boat. That's very unfortunate. What about if we get him to go in a minecart? I'm assuming if we can't get him to go in a boat, we can't get him to go into a minecart either. I feel like they have similar kind of technology about them. This should just pick him up, right? This is how minecarts work. Not use them for some time. If it was going to pick anything up, yeah, it's just nudging him. It's just nudging him along. Oh dear, this isn't good news. So we can't do any kind of rotation. All we can do is move him around on the spot. Well, look who came crawling back for help. It's me. I've come crawling back for help. Please help. I don't know how to do this. I've tried using these pistons here, and it does move him around a little bit. But there's some issues with it. One, it doesn't look very good. Two, we actually need to be, like, in one of these spaces, which means we can't have it activate all around us like that. We're going to have, like, the spider web here and the bed here and stuff, which means we can only really move him left and right. And that kind of looks a bit dumb. So if you've got any ideas at all on how to make... Oh, hello. How to make a pretty cool... Oh, and I've ruined everything, haven't I? How to make a cool little 1x1x1 ice show that kind of makes it look like we're freezing, we're becoming a human ice cube or something, then please do let me know. Because, yeah, the minute I'm at a loss, I'm at quite a big loss. So we've head back over here to the land of imagination, where anything can come true, because you can just spawn it in and summon it in, and you don't have to worry about doing it in survival. I've had an idea, and I'm going to showcase it right now. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to flick the lever. This might give you some ideas. If you can work out how to do this in survival, let me know. Right, ready? Flick. Yeah. Ice cubes in the face. All right. Let me just show you what actually happened there. So we had a bunch of armor stands that was stood on all of these blocks, and they dropped down one at a time. I'm going to summon them back in now, but with invisibility, because that's how they'll actually look in the thing. And the noise that they even make when they hit the floor kind of sounds like freezing noises. So if I can get the positions of the ice cubes correct, they're all in different positions, as you can see. Some of them are over there, some of them are over here. Hopefully that should look like we're kind of freezing in front of our eyes, but yeah, we haven't got the room to do a massive tower of stuff above us. We don't really have the room below us or all around us either, but we have more room below than we do above. So hopefully we can do something like this, but from below instead. So let's try it again now with the invisible ones. This is roughly what we'd be seeing in bed. We'd be like, and asleep. That's kind of cool. I mean, if it was a bit more in our face and it looked like our vision was freezing up, that could work. That could certainly work. But yeah, it just needs to be done with a few less command blocks and in sort of the space of like a 4x4 instead of like a 30 block high tower of craziness. So I need you. Well, not they're all pointing at me at the minute. I don't mean that. I mean you, the viewer at home there. We need you to help us come up with a much... They're still pointing at me, aren't they? I'm talking to you right now to come up with a better way of doing this kind of animatronic-based animation, almost, ice freezing effect. Or any other ideas of what we could be looking at whilst we're being cryogenically frozen in this bed. Because as always, I am an idiot and I have no clue at all. But that is going to be it for today's episode. As always, a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons who's made this episode and all my other episodes possible by being awesome and helping to support the channel. Thank you very much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all those awesome things that I know you've done to help the channel out. I really appreciate it. But until the next episode, a bye.